Yo, what up, people? Smithstone motherfucking R here today, course, to give you guys Hunter x Hunter 2011, episode 101, motherfucker. 101. We passed the 100 mark. We're at 101. Motherfucking review. And you know what? I'm actually enjoying. I enjoyed this episode. I really did. It was actually pretty simple too. It didn't divert to many characters. It was mainly focused on Killua, with Gon just sprinkled in there. And so I'm gonna do Gon first, of course, because it only has two characters really focused on, and so I'm gonna split it up into two halves. First, we have Gon. Gon's basically talking to this gecko motherfucker, basically saying like, "Yeah, I trust you," and it's like, "But you can't." And the gecko dude's like, "But you can't trust everybody. I mean, most liars they lie. You know, they're not gonna be honest with you. They're not." Promises don't mean shit. And so he's like, so I shouldn't trust you? And he's like, no, 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 I'm a fucking exception. And then basically he's explaining like in his head the whole situation, like, did I really, risk my life for this kid? Yes, he has unmatched potential, but still, I mean, he's only a kid. And then he looks in Gon's face, and Gon's like, if you would have fucking lied to me, I wouldn't have had any trouble fucking you up. Like legit, he's like, I'll fucking kill you. Like, so he, after he noticed that, this gecko dude's like, oh my, yeah, I picked the right motherfucker. I picked the right motherfucker to back. And so that's all we got from there. We still don't know what he wants from Gon or what information he has to give Gon, but we do know that he needs Gon for some purpose. And then we got Killua. And Killua, it's actually pretty simple. Actually, yeah, it actually is pretty simple. Basically, Killua's dangling this octopus dude. Octopus dude's getting calls from that motherfucking pigeon dude with the dragonflies. Like, did he? He's asking him like, "Are you? Is he still fighting? Like, what's the situation? What's the update?" And Killua's basically asking him questions like, "What's this dude's ability? You have 10 seconds to tell me, or else you're dead." Like, he's gonna drop him in the water because he realizes that these fish, even though they're the same, you know, even though they're Khmer ants also, the blood will send them into a frenzy, and so it doesn't matter. They'll still eat him. And so he's basically like, Kill was counting down, and this dude like has a flashback of his life, like, well, kind of. He was like, I always wanted to become a squid, or some shit like that. But no, instead I became this little shit. Like, he always wanted to be one of those giant ass octopus. He didn't want to be no little tiny ass squid. He wanted to be octopus, with tentacles and shit. Apparently that's what I got from it, at least. Or it could be the other way around. No, no, he wanted to be reincarnated. So yeah, he wanted to be like a giant ass fucking octopus, not no little bitch. Basically, that's how he wanted to be. And then he's like, you already know. Just drop me. You already know I'm not gonna say shit. And he's like, Kill was like, yeah, I know. I saw it in your eyes. And he's like, well, basically, he jumps off him like, yeah, fuck it, I'm about to die. Killua saves his ass and basically is like, why'd you save me? Because you're a cool guy. And because if we weren't enemies, then we could possibly be friends. Like, it's a situation. They're just happen to become, they're enemies because of certain situations. But in other situations, they could have been friends. And so Killua sends him flying, like legit, like to get him out the area. And then out comes this fucking shark, like bites it, and he's like talking shit. Like, oh yeah, it's go time. I'm about to crush you in this fucking rock. Goodbye. Kill's like, I don't have any problem killing you, cause you're an ignorant motherfucker. Cuts that nigga, kills him. And then out of nowhere, this little like fucking salamander comes from around, like dips over him and implants this like, what would be the best word? Like some type of fucking pin on his body, and he plants on the back, so he doesn't know that's there. And then basically Killua, he escapes from the area. He's walking, all of a sudden starts getting stabbed by fish, and he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Like, these fish are just stabbing him out of nowhere, and he can't sense where they're coming from. And after the third fish hits him, it's basically being stated, like, constantly throughout, that basically he's being attacked by a brother-sister combo of Khmer ants. And their powers are unique. Basically, the sister, she makes this pin, or this badge, and the brother's net ability is basically like a dartboard. And like combining the two, basically, anytime he hits a dartboard, it hits a certain part of his body and inflicts damage. And you cannot dodge it because the second it hits a dartboard, it immediately hits you. Like it just comes out of nowhere and hits you. And it's a really strong ability, and they're basically invincible while this ability is activated. The only problem is that if they miss the last shot, they will die. They'll take all the damage that they would have put on him, apparently. And so there are some drawbacks, but besides that, it's a pretty strong power. Like you don't know where they are. They can hear you, but they can't see you. That has to be really, you have to really get that point. They can hear, they can't see. And Killua uses that to his advantage. Basically, he keeps on getting fucking stabbed, realizes he can't do anything about it, he's about to die. Fuck it, he's like, well, if I'm going out, I might as well give it everything I got. Charges up his lightning, dude, last dart, throws it, hits him in the head, he dies. He falls down. I'm like, oh shit, really? Like we lost Killua already? Damn. I was like, oh fuck. We all were probably at that point. Like, oh shit, really? Like, but no. Brother and sister, they went up to claim the body and apparently skinned him for meat. They got up there, immediately, Killua cut their heads off. Just was like, yeah, they were decapitated, just heads on the fucking ground. And they're still alive, of course, because they're Chimerians. And so that's something interesting. Like, they could possibly still be alive after this. I mean, you never know. They could just sold their, bodies back on some shit like that. I don't know. It's kind of weird, like how they can still be alive without their, body. Like, basically, the brain's still alive, but I mean, these dudes were like talking, and Kill's going through this shit, and we didn't see him die. That's the problem. We didn't see this brother and sister die. We just saw them decapitated, and they weren't like decapitated dead. They were just decapitated, still talking and all that. And basically, they were like, yeah, we're getting promoted. They're dead. Or decapitated. Yeah, let's go with decapitated. This is decapitated. We didn't actually see them die. We didn't see, we didn't see that shit. So, I'm just going to assume they're decapitated right now. On the verge of death. And then from there, basically, we find out that Killua, basically, what he did was, he used his aura as a way to, basically, because his aura is electricity, he used that to immediately send a brainwave. Whenever that fucking fish, like that dart, hit his head, it would immediately send a brainwave to his hand, immediately closing it. Like legit, like lightning. Like fucking electricity. Like, skipping all the fucking brain thinking. No, fuck that. Immediate. Using his aura instead of his actual senses. And that's something that we pretty much learned. Killua has things that he can do with his own body now, with his aura, which is pretty interesting. He can control his body movements, on the possibilities. And then from there, basically Killua's walking away. Apparently what he did was he put his hand like this, because of course they can't see him. Dart came in, immediately enters his aura, stabs him in the head. He grabs it because of, his aura, immediately closing his hand, saving his life. Then while they don't know what the fuck's going on, puts a fucking, he takes off the dart tip and puts on, like, a suction cup. Just puts it on his head and pretends to be dead, yeah. And I'm assuming he also doesn't, like, think or talk, because apparently they can hear him. So, yeah. I'm assuming he didn't talk, because apparently when he talked, they could hear him. And they could, like, also talk to him directly, like, through telepath. Fuck, I can't say that word. Telepath. They can speak with him through telepathic means, yeah, because I can't say the other word. I don't know why, but it just doesn't work. It just doesn't. And so, basically, Killua's walking away, passes out in his own blood. It's warm. Like, oh, fuck. And then this is what we learn, which is some very key information. He says, and I just thought of a new technique to use. Basically, he found a way to, with what he just did, using his aura to, like, sense shit and then immediately cause reactions, at the speed of, like, electricity, like that instant. he found out like a new fighting style he's gonna try and learn or try and master using that type of ability. But no, he's passing out. He's bleeding on the floor. I'm like, oh fuck, now he's gonna die. Like really, like that was the second time I was like, oh fuck. Then out of nowhere, Octopus hand apparently gets saved by Octopus. Octopus blows the fuck up and is carrying him. And basically it's like, yeah, I decided to become a traitor for you because you said I was a cool guy and I just couldn't let you die. You saved my life. And so now he's taking him down this like underwater fucking passage to some secret doctor where hopefully he'll be able to save Killua before he dies. And now they possibly have another Chimera Ant ally. Now, if you're noticing something, God has this ally apparently, and so now does Killua. And so it shows something. I want to say it shows something because we know that hunters. I'm just gonna go off this, my personal opinion. We know that hunters, they have a fondness for animals and stuff like they're good. They're good with people in a sense, and animals. And Chimera Ants are like animals in a sense, and so it wouldn't be too odd if they were able to transform these Chimera Ants' hearts or something like that from their evil nature to be like, yo, what up? Because hunters do have that way with them. They have that personality that apparently, like animals, they really like. Like, for instance, Knuckle. Knuckle always has fucking animals flocking around, and like legit. Well, not always, but you know what I mean. They'll come to him. Sorta, that's how I'm seeing it. Or it could just be a power thing. I'm not sure. But either way, it was a good episode nonetheless. I give this episode right here 9.1 out of 10. Yeah, I'm giving it a great. It just got a little bit better than good. Because there was like, I don't know. The way that Killua managed to overcome this ability that had, really no weaknesses when you think about it. Like, they can attack you from anywhere. As long as they put this badge on you, they can attack you from anywhere. And this dude apparently is a very good with the fucking darts, and so you're screwed. Like, you're really screwed. And so, this is basically the only way that, they'll take damage is if they fuck up. And he doesn't seem like a person that's gonna fuck up. So, with that being said, this to my fucking heart. This episode right here, great. 9.1 out of 10, great. And so, with that being said, to my fucking heart. Peace the fuck out.